Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. And how do you do? My granddaughter said, the birds are chirping. The birds are chirping early in the morning. I just made that up because I forgot how she said it. Good morning, y'all. Right away, hit that share button. Tell them to come on in the room for the free to hope conversation with Edwina B. Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, and I love it. Don't you love the fact that you were chosen to rise this morning? Huh? You were gifted with life this morning, today. And for that, I am so happy, joyous, and free. Yes. So hit that share button. Tell them to come on in the room so we can have a drink of coffee and have this morning conversation about all these doggone masks we have been wearing, are wearing, and some will choose to continue to wear. That contributes to our brokenness and being broke. Let's have a drink of coffee. What are you drinking? Okay, so because this is a new day, a new moment, a new present, we want to engage in a transparent and authentic conversation. I mean, when was the last time you really had a conversation with somebody when both of you was really naked to the bone, transparent, authentic? When was the last time that you had a conversation with someone who was true to the bone, told you like it was, like it is, didn't put no cut on it, no chaser on it? And guess what? That helped you to become transparent and authentic. That's my goal. See, I believe that you have to have a model. You have to have some type of image, right? Some type of example. And I'm so glad that the Spirit just gave me that, because that's going to be our topic today, right? Who was our model? Who was our example in putting on the various masks? Huh? So we're going to get into that. So first, let me go through my ritual of my announcements, our conversation this morning, right? So, free to hope conversation with Edwina B. So you see, I was able to add to hope in my character line, right? Because oftentimes I don't realize how much space we do have. But I don't want to give half the message. I want to give the whole message. And so the whole message really is free to hope. From recovery, emerge empowered. Wait a minute. You're not going to get me today. So the title is Free to Hope. From recovery, emerge empowered. Emerge empowered from recovery. Emerge empowered. You ever think about when you go to surgery, or and you were sick, or you had this done, you were down for the count, and you went through the recovery process, even though it may have been painful, ugly. But guess what? You endured until we went through in order to get through to where we are now. Yes. And so when we go through recovery of one shape, form, or fashion of a situation or circumstance, we should have emerged empowered, learned some lessons. Yes. I'm glad I mentioned that too, right? Because a few years ago, me and I believe it was 6 of my grandchildren and the granddad had COVID. Because let's say I took for granted about the mask and the washing of the hands and all that little kind of stuff, right? Sometimes I put on a mask, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I wanted to show my face. I didn't want to wear the mask because it messed up my lipstick and my makeup, right? Can you relate? And so I didn't do what the CDC suggested I do on a consistent basis. Hell no, I did not. You didn't either. Anyway, I contracted COVID. And because I have grandchildren around and we're going in and we're going out, we're doing this and we're doing that during the times when we are supposed to be wearing masks. You hear the word again? Mask, and being covered and washing our hands, and 20 seconds to wash your hands. Yeah, right. Some of us, like me, don't always use soap. Listen, y'all got to love me. Y'all got to love me because I'm telling the truth. I did not wash my hands for no 20 seconds. I did not always wear the mask so that I don't contract COVID, right? I did not use hand sanitizer all the time because for a person in recovery who have alcohol and addiction problems, that thing, whoo, you smell it, it gives me a trigger because it has in some of them alcohol in it. You know what I mean? So I'm just being transparent and authentic, right? And so as a result, me and my grandchildren contracted COVID. And because we did, I took it for granted, right? And I lost my taste. I lost my smell. I was gravely ill. The body ached like a machine had went through and just did all kinds of surgery on me, right? And then some of my grandchildren didn't have any symptoms, right? So I'm saying this to say that even though we are supposed to listen to the instructions that will help save our lives. So when we don't, we go through a process of becoming ill, down, out for the count. And we begin the recovery process, right? But then I have to ask the question, well, what part did I play in it? I need a drink. Oh, we're getting ready to get busy, y'all. See, oftentimes we want to blame everybody else for things that happen to us, when in reality, we all play a part in what happens. So recovery has taught me to ask myself, you didn't listen to the CDC, you didn't listen to this, you didn't do that, so why are you blaming them? The blame is with you. They say you got a finger pointing at somebody, but you got 3 and a thumb pointing back at you, right? And so what part did you play in it? What part did I play in it? So when I begin to accept my responsibility, my part that I play in some things, therefore I can be accountable and just focus on doing the next right thing. But I've also learned doing the next right spiritual thing. Why? Because I have little ones watching me. I have you watching me, right? Yeah. And so when we are down for the count and we had to endure the recovery process, we emerged empowered. Yes. So that's why for me, using the acronym for free to hope, from recovery, emerge empowered, to do what? So if you emerge empowered, you went through a situation, you overcame, you came through the other side. And so, okay, are you Am I going to be selfish with that? Hell no. I used to be. Yes, right. I used to be me. I. Not ever thinking that the reason why I went through something and came through empowered is to be able to share with other people. You little selfish little husband, you. Mm-hmm. No. Recovery has taught me. Free from recovery, emerge empowered to give hope to others. And that's why I am sharing here with you every morning from 6:30 to 7 Eastern Savings Time how I've been broken and broke. How I come to the realization that I'm tired of being broken and broke. Now, you would really have to go back to January the 1st when I started this podcast on the topic of being broken and broke. But and what? So what? Now what? What I'm going to do about it? What's the next right thing to do about it? No, not even there. What's the next right spiritual thing to do about it? Because our brokenness and being broke is from a spiritual angle that manifests itself through the physical. Yes, this is the vessel. This is just the body. What spirits are occupying this vessel to manifest negative or positive attitudes, ideas, and behaviors using this same vessel. Yeah. And so I understand now that my brokenness and being broke had to have started somewhere. Who were my models? What were my examples? What did I see? What did I read to begin to put on all the masks that created my brokenness and being broke? Okay. And so for me, y'all, I was so tired of being any and everything to everybody, but not true to myself. I didn't know who Edwina was. I'm still finding out who I am. But it came a time when my brokenness and being broke came to fruition, because 34 years ago, it'll be on February the 23rd of 2024, my brokenness and being broke landed me underneath a parked car, 3 o'clock in the morning, as a drug addict, a alcoholic, a prostitute, one with mental illness. Yes, getting high and doing all kind of sexual favors for my own stepson, who was broken and broke too, because under the influence, thinking that we're masking this and we're masking that, but what we are really doing is transforming under the influence of a mood-altering chemical, a mood-altering behavior. Don't get me hyped, y'all. Listen. And so I, at that point, recognize through my physical and my mental and my emotional and my spiritual, I was broken. Underneath a parked car, y'all. Dogs and cats get underneath cars. Mechanics to fix a car, I told you I'm authentic and transparent, right? But underneath a parked car, are you kidding me? Yes. So let me stop right there. Where are you right here, right now? And touch with your brokenness and being broke. I reviewed January the 1st up until recently, the likes and the comments and the views. More people every day are tuning in. They are tuning in because this topic resonates with each and every one of us who needs to be true to themselves. I am broken and I am broke. And so when I see the increase in views, that means there's a need. And God, who I now know is the creator of all things, prepared me, is using me, my authenticity and my transparency to share with you. Yes, free from recovery, I have emerged empowered, and I'm giving hope to you. Help others prosper equally. Take off the masks. And so I'm not talking about the mask for COVID, because my niece is in the hospital right now from COVID. And even though I've been vaccinated, I started wearing the mask again. But not every time. See what I mean? You can get in touch with your brokenness and being broke, and still we do what we want to do. When we do what we want to do, we get what we get, right? And so I am going to be more mindful, more aware of what I need to do to protect this vessel. I need to become more aware of what spirits are occupying this body. I need to become more aware which mask is trying to dominate this vehicle here. Yes, that creates and contributed to my brokenness and being broke. Okay? And so, as you can see, if you're tired of being broken and being broke, you are here with me. To learn how to take off the mask and show your true self. Show your true authenticity, your true transparency. Who are you? Who am I? I am one curious child. I want to know. I want to know because this God that I now know created me for something, for a reason. And so if there's any mask that I need to be wearing knowingly, is one of truth and love. But it's not a mask because it should be authentic and transparent. But we are so conditioned to think about masks, Halloween. And, well, we don't need that because we wear masks all day long. I see this person. Oh, hi. I see that person. I see that. Oh, baby. Yeah. So let's get into the solution, okay, of our brokenness and being broke. So many of you know I share with you the spiritual tools that have been given to me over the years, okay? And so in identifying with other people who have been broken and broke, particularly those with co-occurring disorders, mental illness and substance abuse of some sort, right? And, in Alcoholics Anonymous, they say, and it's so true, think about it, all human beings are ill to some extent. The Louise family talks about it being an illusion, this thing that we're involved in called life. Yes. How is it so that the oldest and the most popular book is yet the Bible? That the 12 recovery principles came out of the Bible. And so the spiritual tools that have been introduced But I had to open up the book. I had to begin to read the information. I had to begin to internalize, right? Because I needed to reveal what I've been concealing in order for me to heal. Yes. And so I want to share with you the spiritual tools that I use every day in order for me to sit before you as transparent and as authentic as I can. You know, yesterday I had that wig on, right? Where is it? I ain't gonna put it on now. Oh, here go all the makeup and stuff that I had, right? No. I got my dentures in now, right? Yeah. But see, I learned that using these spiritual tools, I'm able to get in touch with the foundation of where it all began. All right. So we're going to get there in a few seconds, right? All right. So what I also want to share with you is in order for you to continue to engage with me and discovery and rediscovery, right? And discovery, because it's evolving. Life is evolving, everything evolves, right? And so we as human beings evolve. And so when I go back to my 12-step program and my literature and the Bible and the Uwe's Family 5 Agreements and Dr. Sonia Peter University, I am gathering more wisdom. The student became ready and the teacher appeared. But when you begin to indulge in spiritual wisdom and tools and information, the spiritual student becomes ready and the spiritual teachers appear. All right. And so I want to be able to share with you my journey of discovery, of removing the mask to identify my brokenness and being broke. So I share with you that I am going to be having a weekly. Now, this is a daily conversation, Free to Hope. But I'm going to have a weekly, an hour-long virtual session to go a little deeper, right? I'm still trying to figure out the kinks and whatnot. And on a monthly basis, I'm going to have a masterclass. That's about 2 hours to go even deeper, right? See, we didn't learn how to wear those masks overnight. We didn't learn how to identify the behavior with the mask in ourselves, but we sure ain't got no problem seeing in somebody else. Are you kidding me? What you see in others is within you. Okay, and so on a monthly basis, I'm having my master classes, and then 3 times or 4 times a year, I'm going to have my 3 to 5 day boot camp. As a matter of fact, today through the 25th, I'll be rejoining Dr. Sonia of P3 Global, and her session of what she has taught thousands of people, how she allows herself to be of service to others, right? To understand the process of going through your journey of pain, up and down and da-da-da-da. Be prepared to heal in the process of healing, sharing your story like I share mine, to obtain spiritual wholeness and spiritual wealth. So it's going to be a fee. Yes, it's going to be a fee. This conversation right now is free to hope. But the dynamic of the weekly and the master classes and the boot camp, there is a registration fee. And guess what? It's more than worth the fee. As a matter of fact, you can't even put a price on it, right? And so, but we're going to get into that, So I just want you to be mindful that I'm still working out the kinks to have my first virtual session on Monday, the 29th, right? And my monthly master classes starting the 3rd week in February, okay? So that's coming. All right, so now let's get to the topic of the day. All right. So today is part 7. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, listen. It works, right? If I got to hold it. All right, so right now, we are going to be identifying where the mask came from. Okay, so you may want to take a drink of coffee. I hope. All right, so when we identify the mask, right, we have to start somewhere, and the 4th step AA program teaches us to go using step 4, made a searching for fearless more inventory of ourselves, right? And we also recognize that fear is the biggest character defect of all human beings. We are all ill to some extent because of fear of something, someone, fear. And so generally when we as human beings fear something, until we learn to face fear, we forget everything and run. But recovery, my spiritual tools have taught me to face everything and recover, face everything and be restored, face everything and be rejuvenated, face everything and rebound. Yes, from recovery emerge empowered to give hope to others, help others prosper equally. Okay? So when we get into our virtual sessions and our master classes and our boot camp, oh man, we're gonna fight fear. I'm from Philly, y'all. I love y'all. I know you love me too. All right, so the next thing I want to share with you, right, is okay. It says what situations, circumstances, or triggers that make you put on a mask. Is it done consciously or unconsciously? Okay. And so what I want to share with you right now is my journey. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. You can see that, right? All right, good. Let me take this off. All right. So let me take that off. And okay. So let me minimize myself because I am not that important. Okay. Because what I want to do is share with you the foundation or beginning of the many masks I learned and wear. The first thing I recognize with me, right, is that I was addicted to attention. What do you mean by that, Edwina? So take a walk with me back to your childhood. My parents were my first examples, right? My siblings were my first examples, right? So in other words, my family was the first set of people that I did not pick. I did not choose, but was and who were given to me and me to them. Okay. Now, as a baby, if you read the 5 agreements by the Uwees family, there's a what you call it? A domestication process. There's a conditioning process. There's a programming process, if you really look at it, right? So our family, particularly our parents, teach us what they know, show us what they know. We model their behavior. We watch them. We hear them. Not always listen, but sometimes we do, right? But the main thing we see them. And so for me, when I became aware, it must have been about 4 years old, okay? I became aware that my daddy That's my daddy. That my daddy, y'all. Oh, he's your husband? I don't know. Oh, he's your father? I don't know. That's my daddy. That's my daddy. That's my daddy. That's my daddy. Right? And so whatever I did was to get the attention of my daddy. And I learned so much as I grew up, and I learned so much in looking back how those masks were formed. Okay. And so, because my daddy was the center of my world, I believe and I know now that everything was geared towards getting my daddy's attention. I also learned by watching my mother and how she acted, what she said to get the attention of my dad, her husband. So a child sees, a child hears, a child imitates, right? We're watching. That's an instinctual, right? Process that we as human beings go through. So I got about a few minutes. Okay, hurry up. We're going to continue this tomorrow, right? So I became addicted to attention from my dad. I watched my mother do certain things, say certain things to get the attention of my dad. And that's when I began to put on the masks. Yeah. Okay. So it's 7:00 and, it's time for me to go. And I'm going to say we will continue part 8 tomorrow. But make sure you send this to somebody else. Make sure you review it again, because most of the time we hear, but we don't listen, right? And so that's what helped me to gain the strength, the courage, right? To be transparent and authentic, because I was tired of wearing the mask. I was tired of being broken and broke. No more. If you didn't come from a wealthy family, let a wealthy family come from you. That's my intent. I'm going to share with you my life, my story, right? My journey. But I'm also going to share with you the spiritual tools that I use from others to help me with my transparency and authenticity. Because if it's not transparent, authentic, it's fake. I don't care what you say. Like these teeth. I love y'all. I love you. I love you. You love me. We are one big family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? That's right. I'm 68 years old and still acting like a child. God said, come to me, childlike. See you tomorrow if it's God's will.